guys, it's Sophie from GAINSBYBRAINS and welcome to this new video. I'm so excited to record a video again. It has been a little while and that is because I've been quite busy with moving, for example, but I'll make sure to catch you up in 1 second. I just finished my fasted morning cardio. As you could see, I did 25 minutes of low intensity steady state cardio and I took some amino and energy before that, which is basically a mixture between BCAAs and pre-workout, which is definitely necessary whenever I'm doing morning cardio. So for now I am going to get changed and then I'm going to get this day started. Time for a little life update and to let you know what I have been up to. And we moved. So we haven't been living in the old place for very long, I think 5 or 6 months maybe, but we moved into this place and I'm so excited about it. The process took I think 5 or 6 weeks in total. So you have the packing of the old place, then you have the actual moving part, and then you obviously have to unpack everything at the new place. So it has been taking a little while, which is also why I haven't been uploading that frequently on YouTube, but I'm so excited to be back and to be uploading more frequently and more regularly. As I mentioned before, we haven't been living in the previous place for that long, but whenever you are renting a place, you are dependent on the market, on what is currently available, and we knew it wasn't ideal in terms of price, in terms of square meter that we had, in terms of location and in terms of environment, but it was still an upgrade from the place before that. We never stopped with looking at the market just to see whatever was available, and then eventually we found this place and I'm super excited to be moving in here, or at least we're already moved in, but we aren't completely settled yet. Note to self, never throw away the assembly instructions. If it isn't IKEA, because IKEA you can find it online, but I have some random other furniture and I have no idea how to put it back together. Also, after moving, so we moved 2 weeks ago now, I got sick. So that usually happens with me whenever I have a stressful event or a stressful period, then I'm doing completely fine, and then afterwards when everything is settled down a bit, I tend to get sick. I always had that as a kid. The first day of vacation, I always got sick. But I am feeling much better now and I am going to do a workout again. I haven't been going to the gym for, I think it is a week now that I haven't been going to the gym, so I cannot wait to be back and to make some gains again. So I'll make sure to take you through my workout, and I'm actually training legs because we have to start strong. I just finished with my general warm-up and after that I moved on to some good activation exercises, and then I did some warm-up sets for the exercise that I'm going to perform next. I always do some warm-up sets, always for my compound exercises and for my isolation work. For my compound exercises it is mainly to get used to the weight, and for my isolation work it is to build that mind-muscle connection. So the first exercise is the pause squat. I am going to do 4 sets of 6 reps and I am doing a 4-second pause at the bottom of the movement.
I see everything around me changing again and again. Can't stay in this dead-end relation, 'cause it's fading to gray.
Exercise is the hip thrust and I'm going to do 1/4 of a rep, and this basically means that you're going to perform 1 rep, then you're going to perform 1/4 of a rep, and that will be 1 rep in total. I hope that makes sense, otherwise you will see it in a second. And the benefit of this is that it increases the time under tension. I always like to use bigger plates because this way I can just sit on the floor and I can just roll the bar so that it is above my hips, and then I can easily perform the movement. You have to make sure that you are completely centered, otherwise there will be an imbalance. And for this exercise I'm going to perform 3 sets of 12 reps. exercise, you want to take 1 minute to 1.5 minutes of rest during your sets. I am now moving on to set number 2 and my glutes are fired up already. Also, don't use a towel to protect your hips. Use a pad instead, that works way better, but I don't have one right now, so I am trying to work with just a towel. Exercise number 3 is the Romanian deadlift with an eccentric focus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to perform the lowering part of the movement for 3 to 4 seconds approximately, and this again will increase your time under tension, and that is something that works really well for me whenever I'm targeting my hamstrings. And I'm going to perform 3 sets of 12 reps. To the cable kickback. This is some isolation work, so I'm performing a movement with a bit of a lighter weight. I am going to do 3 sets of 15 reps per leg, and I'm starting with my weakest leg, which is my left leg. And after finishing both legs, the first set, I am going to take a 30 to 60 seconds break, and then I'm moving on to set number 2.
I'll be on my way if you want it. I surrender to you. Yes, I am waving the white flag. I surrender to you. Yes, I am waving the white flag. Waving the white flag.
For the final exercise, I'm going to perform the seated dumbbell calf raise. I have to improvise quite a bit because we don't have access to a calf raise machine here. I also don't have a Smith machine because I really like performing the calf raises in the Smith machine because that helps with balance. You can just perform any substitute or alternative exercise for your calves, and I'm going to perform 4 sets of 15 reps in total. For my post-workout meal, I am going to make wraps. I love making wraps because you can just throw everything that is still in your fridge in there, and it's just very quick, very easy, and very tasty. So I am going to use 2 low-carb wraps just because it has a bit of extra protein, which is something that I can really use. And then for the filling, I'm going to use some spinach, cherry tomatoes, 60 grams of kidney beans. I'm going to use half of an avocado, but I'm not entirely sure whether these are still okay, which is why I have those 2 here, just in case. And I also have some tofu, which I'm going to prepare in the pan, and I'm going to add some hot curry and some nutritional yeast to flavor the tofu. And then I have some sesame seeds for the avocado. I really like to add sesame seed to my avocado. And then as a dressing, I'm going to make some hummus with some hot sauce and with a bit of water. Really quick, really easy, and I'm going to make it right now because I am starving. I start with heating up the wraps in the pan, and while that is heating up, I'm going to cut the tomatoes into small pieces, and then I am going to cut the avocado as well. Now we have the moment of truth, and we're going to cut open the avocado. I am not sure how this will turn out. Let's see. That is perfect. So that is really nice, and I'm going to put this one away because I don't need it. And like I said, I'm going to use half of it, and then I'll just divide it over the 2 wraps. So we have the avocado, we have the tomatoes, the spinach, the beans, and I'm going to put some sesame seed over the avocado, just like that. And now it is time to season the tofu and to cut the tofu because the wrap is almost finished. The complete container is 250 grams and I'm going to use half of it, so 125 grams. Now I'm just going to cut it in little squares, just because it's very easy to bake in the pan. Now that my wraps are finished, I'm going to put some rice oil in the pan for the tofu. I'm going to put the tofu in and then I'm going to add the nutritional yeast and the hot curry for the seasoning, and then I'm just going to bake it for I think 5 or 6 minutes or so until it is golden brown, and then I am almost ready to eat. While the tofu is still in the pan at low heat, I am going to make the dressing. For the dressing I am going to mix hummus with some hot sauce and possibly some water depending on the consistency. So now that everything is done, I am ready to make the wrap. So I'm going to start with the wrap and just fill it up until it looks nice and full. So there is no way that I can eat this in a fashionable manner, so I'm not going to pretend like I am. So I'm just going to talk a bit before eating this, because I wanted to talk about my new goals, because new place, new goals, and I am starting my reverse diet. So if you've been following my journey for a little while, then you might know that I was in a caloric deficit, that I was decreasing my body fat percentage, that I was losing weight. I am happy with the weight I am currently at. I'm happy with my level of leanness, so it is time for me to start my reverse diet. And the reason why you want to start a reverse diet after dieting is mainly because of the negative adaptations of your metabolic rate to the caloric deficit. So if you eat in a caloric deficit, if you eat less calories on a daily basis than your body needs to maintain its current state, you will lose weight, but your metabolic rate will also slow down, or your metabolism will slow down. So with a reverse diet, you are slowly working your way back up to maintenance level calories, mainly by increasing your carbs or decreasing your activity, for example, depending on how much cardio you have been doing in your diet, during being in a caloric deficit. So my approach is that I started with adding 25 grams of carbs to my macros. My current macro ratio is 30% fat, 30% protein and 40% carbs, but that obviously will change once I start changing my macros again. But I increased my carbs with 25 grams, which is an increase of 100 calories, and after 1 week of being on these calories, on these macros, I'll reassess and evaluate where I'm currently at, how my body responds to it, and the goal is to gain a minimal amount of weight while increasing your calories until you're at a comfortable maintenance level calories again. So I'm super excited about that. It isn't really easy. You still have to track, even though you have more calories and more macros to play around with, but I don't mind and I really enjoy the extra carbs, and I am thinking about possibly starting a lean bulk afterwards, but we'll see once I am at a comfortable level of maintenance calories again. So that was my video for today. I'm starving, so I'm going to eat, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give it a like, to leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel because that means the absolute world. And then I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.